obsessed with smelling her grown daughter's baby teeth, like an evil version of the Tooth Fairy. And then one mother and daughter pair even try syncing their poops together.
I'm about to do number 2, and I was like, me too! Let's do it together! Okay!
And after she says that Bluetooth syncing their poops is normal, she starts like kissing her daughter's hand. And here's where we actually have to have a serious conversation about TLC. I've only shown things that are YouTube friendly. However, on the show, things get much, much worse, like into really weird territory. And quite frankly, some of the things on there are just unspeakable. The dynamics between all of the mother and daughter pairs are quite disturbing, and instead of TLC seeing this behavior and deciding to, I don't know, call the police or run, they decided to shovel a lot of money their way and try to make them famous. And I think TLC expects you to think nothing of it as a viewer because everybody involved is an adult. However, when you really examine what's going on here, you ask yourself the question, when did this behavior start? Did this unhealthy relationship really start in adulthood? Because it's not like these daughters just spawned into existence as adults, right? Like at this point, we're not just witnessing socially weird behavior between two adults. We're witnessing something that's much more concerning. You would look at these mothers as a normal, rational person and think, yeah, those are probably the last people I would give a show to. But of course, TLC did. And now, these mothers are using their influence to convince people that their relationships are okay. But the way that TLC talks about it, they try to make it just sound like it's a fun and quirky little relationship. So the Learning Channel is sending the exact opposite message you would want to send. When the moms on the show aren't being creepy, they're basically trying to become one with their daughters, living vicariously through them, fusing with them, making sure they can't develop an identity of their own. One of the biggest examples of this in the show would be the mother and daughter duo, Catherine and Gabriella. Catherine, the mother, used to be a pageant star, so she forced her daughter to be one. They bathe together a lot, they dress identically, and they spend most of their days just preparing for pageants. And the entire reason she forced her daughter to follow in her footsteps and not live her own life is because she once won Miss Connecticut USA.
Winning Miss Connecticut USA, I felt the world was going to be mine.
Imagine growing up and your mom being Miss Connecticut USA.
Connecticut ranked 29th by state population. I don't want to diminish someone's achievements, like feel good about yourself, but to derail an entire human life over winning Miss Connecticut USA is a bit much. There's nothing that would be a good enough justification for forcing your daughter to not have independence and live your life for you. But if there was a good reason, this is certainly not it. Funnily enough, the mom actually has 2 other daughters who she mostly ignores because they're not into pageants like her favorite daughter. And these other daughters are actually able to provide some interesting perspective. They say that their mother used to make them all dress alike when they were younger, and that they don't even call their mom. Instead, they call her Kath because she wants to be one of the sisters.
Why do you call your mom Kath?
Because mom sees herself as one of the sisters.
And while the sisters may have escaped pageant life, Gabriella is in a really tough spot because the second she said, maybe I want just a singular crumb of independence, her mother threw a fit.
On your own, who's going to take care of you? You're not going anywhere. What about the pageant?
She was like one step away from locking her in a tower. All Gabriella said is that she wanted to move to New York and maybe not continue on with Miss Connecticut USA. And the fit her mom threw was so bad, she actually compared her daughter saying this to her own mother dying.
And it actually even takes me back to when my mother died.
And then TLC starts playing sad music and tries turning this into a sob story. I exploit my daughter because dead mom. Most people, when this happens to them, they don't shamelessly force their daughter to live their life for them. Like, there's clearly a deeper reason for her behavior, and you can't just blame it on some sort of external situation.
Trust you
I know,
again.
but I knew that you were
won't trust you again.
Okay, guys, this is actually kind of huge. We may have found Mother Gothel in real life. She even has the hair and everything, and like the dress too. She has infiltrated our world. And you know what? That just makes everything make a whole lot more sense. Like, the mom isn't even concerned for her daughter's well-being. She's just concerned about the legacy of Miss Connecticut USA.
How are you going to carry on the legacy of Miss Connecticut USA when you are in New York?
Another wild thing about this is the fact that Gabriella is actually still going to do pageants. She's just going to compete for Miss New York.
I can compete for New York.
So if you were someone who was into pageants, this wouldn't be that horrible of a move. But her mom is acting like she's being tortured. I mean, honestly, it's just surprising how much she admits this whole thing is about her, that she just wants to live through her daughter.
She's on stage, I'm on stage. I want you to carry on the Connecticut legacy.
Another mother who tries to live through her daughter is Dawn, from the pair Dawn and Cher. And we talked about them briefly earlier, but just to go further into this, the drama surrounding them is the fact that Cher wants to have a baby, but Dawn sees the baby as a DEFCON level 1 threat. Her greatest fear in life is not dying, it's not fire or the dreaded spider. Instead, her greatest fear in life is the idea of her grown 30-year-old daughter realizing she's independent.
What if she realizes that she doesn't need me anymore? What am I doing in this whole thing?
It's all
what am I
about
doing?
you.
Oh my god, woman, get a hobby. You're gonna be a grandma. Act like it. Go worry about bingo or something. Once Cher has her baby, she decides to dress them all as triplets and try to become one hive mind identity.
We couldn't dye Belle's hair just yet, so we decided if we change our hair.
And I know that because this show is so weird, someone's going to say, clearly it's staged. There's no way this is real. Horrifyingly though, I've done research and most of it is real. One thing in the show that is never scripted and is always 100% real is the fact that these mother and daughter pairs are actually related. That sadly is not fake. They are in fact actually crossing those boundaries, doing the things you see on camera. And the part of the show that's fluffed up or faked by the producers would be the drama in regards to like the dating life of the people or some family fights.
Mom, are you serious?
And one thing I found really interesting was the fact that Sunny, you know, the one who pulled out the crystal earlier, is actually a serial reality show hopper. On Smothered, she's seen having relationship issues with a guy where she wants to marry him. However, she's also appeared on many other reality shows such as Divorce Court, Couples Court, and A Night with My Ex. And across these shows, she has completely different partners and presents herself in a completely different way. So really, she just morphs herself into whatever she needs to be for the camera. Which means for Smothered, it's very likely that she's playing this up for the camera. However, the scene that we are seeing here is not fake. You know, this was actually something that was done. Which begs the question, are you really gonna go that far for just a second of fame? Is it really worth it? I mean, even if they don't act this way off camera, the relationship is still pretty horrible since they're willing to do this on reality TV for millions of people. And sadly, when looking at other mother and daughter pairs like Dawn and Cher, they are real. They do seem to be like that off camera. Like the really nasty stuff in this show just sadly is not scripted. But you know, even in the case of Sunny and Eva, even if their relationship isn't like that off camera and that's sort of fake, it actually doesn't change how disturbing it is on TLC's end. It doesn't change the fact that TLC is showing this to millions of people and romanticizing their relationships. I mean, the entire way that TLC markets this show is very strange. Instead of calling this stuff creepy, they call it funny moments. And in one of their more upsetting clips they've posted to YouTube, titled Unusual Mom and Daughter Bonding Moments, in their description they have a copy and pasted section that goes over TLC's philosophy. So we can assume that they're applying it to this show as well. Here's what they say about TLC, offering remarkable real-life stories without judgment. TLC shares everyday heart, humor, hope, and human connection, with programming genres that include fascinating families, heartwarming transformations, and life's milestone moments. Hold on a second, let's go back actually to the stories without judgment part.
Have you not ever taken out a bubble bath with a girlfriend of yours or husband? It's the same thing. What is the big deal?
Yeah, no, we should judge. And despite them wanting to spread hope, there's clearly no hope in any of these situations. On their website, they have an official quiz titled, Is Your Mother-Daughter Relationship Extreme? And I decided to take it for fun, and I wanted to see what would happen if I chose all of the answers that would say, yes, it's extreme. And the answer it gave me says, you two are inseparable and don't care what other people think. They are simply jealous of your bond. I assure you no one watching this show is jealous of anything. I mean, the show is beyond hopeless. And my first introduction to this show, the reason why I made this video was because I came across a clip on YouTube. One of their clips where one of the moms artificially inseminates her daughter.
Don't be stressed. You gotta think happy baby thought. I gave her life, so now I get to put it inside of her.
The daughter wants to have a baby, and the daughter's wife is on the fence about it. She's not sure. So the daughter goes behind her wife's back and gets her mom to do it for her. And the way the scene is laid out is disgusting. And you and I both know fully that if TLC was not subject to TV censorship, they would probably show everything. You and I both know what it is. All in all, this might be one of the worst shows I've seen. And I've watched a lot of stuff since I've started this YouTube channel. Here are some crystals to get rid of the bad energy in the room. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
YouTuber I'm Alex is facing one of the worst downfalls in YouTube history, with his channels losing over 160,000 subscribers within just 2 weeks. This comes after his ex-girlfriend, Alice Hez, published extensive evidence of mistreatment, abuse, and harassment she received over the course of their relationship. This has exposed the side of him that he kept hidden from his fan base, which is ironic considering his entire career is based around creating expose content on other YouTubers and internet personalities. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be looking into the disturbing downfall of Alex Elmsley, also known as I'm Alex. On the 15th of June 2024, Alice made a post on Twitter stating, "Here's my statement on the situation I've been scared to speak out on. It's best it was made public how horrible this person with a platform is. I would hate to see another woman go through this." This post also included a Google Drive link, which contains a number of audio and video files featuring Alex. Alongside that, it also contained an 80-plus page long document with dozens of statements detailing the abuse Alice endured, alongside the screenshots and pictures to prove these allegations. The document opens up with a trigger warning for sex assault, suicide, depression, and assault. Following this, the first major accusation against Alex is that he tried to blackmail Alice into staying quiet about the whole situation. In her words, "I've been threatened by Alex to not come out with anything at all and to keep quiet, or he'll create a contradicting story to discredit my own. But I'm not scared anymore." And as we'll see later, this accusation is disturbingly close to the truth. Alice also mentioned how she officially begun dating Alex in March of last year, and later revealed that they broke up in December of 2023. So the relationship only lasted about 9 months in total. Now, that's just 9 months, but with the sheer number and severity of the accusations in this document, it almost makes it unbelievable that it all went down in less than a year. That being said, the first issue Alice faced was Alex's constant need for attention. He expected her to be available for Discord calls 24/7, and she states, "Alex felt that because I'm home all day and work from home, that I would be able to call 24/7 and to completely shut out any other social interactions I have with my friends. And when she couldn't join a call because she was busy elsewhere, like with friends or family, Alex would emotionally blackmail her, saying things like, 'Guess everyone has got something better to do,' or 'No one wants me.' Either that, or he'll get angry and start dishing out a barrage of insults. 'Idiot, you text like a retard, so call me. You're stupid.' And if Alice tried to apologize and calm things down, he'd stay heated and go as far as telling her to and calling her a cunt. She further explains, "After screaming at me in calls and disregarding everything I've ever said, he would explain how it's always my fault and that I should apologize, that I should fix it and fight for him after he's made it worse by completely dehumanizing and degrading me. What's extremely disturbing is Alice didn't use the term dehumanizing here as a metaphor.
Now, when it's too fucking late, you admit that you did everything fucking wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good fucking dog."
During this time, Alice also found out that not only was Alex keeping in touch with several of his exes, despite promising he wouldn't, she also discovered that he was even stalking one of his previous girlfriends and still had her explicit images on his phone. However, this was only the start of Alex's twisted behavior towards Alice. In July, the two of them went on a holiday to Italy. However, what should have been an opportunity for the two of them to finally make up got ruined when, according to Alice, Alex started watching a video about, quote, "a girl being hyper after trauma," unquote, which is a terribly disturbing notion on so many different levels. So, when Alice noticed the contents of this video, she opened up to Alex about her own past essay-related trauma. However, instead of consoling her or understanding her struggles, Alex told her that he, quote, doesn't want to know what has been done to her by other guys, unquote. He also got angry and threatened to leave Alice on her own in a foreign country with no way of getting back home, and even blamed her for ruining the trip after coming back and saying things like, bringing up weird shit on our first holiday, you ruined every moment, as well as, I have no fond memories with you. However, things got even worse for Alice when she asked Alex for advice about getting into Twitch streaming and expanding her online career. Instead of helping her in any meaningful way, Alex just resorted to belittling her for trying. You're like everyone else, stupid f***ing idiots who think they know better than the only man who has done it all successfully. As well as, it's easy to sit there like everyone else and cry about it when you're a jobless freak. Imagine trying to teach retards like you and my mates how to do this. And keep yourself. I just told you how to make 6 figures, so f*** off. It would even call Alice a quote dumb multiple times during this argument. And while this is awful, Alex managed to take things even further into the realm of depravity. For some context, many years ago, Alex posted a video in which he criticized Hannah Mojo's use of a racial slur by saying the N-word out loud himself. He later apologized for this and admitted that it was a dumb thing to do.
I deleted that video because I don't stand by that video, and that video was and there's no excuses for that video that I made.
Most bought this apology as genuine, with comments reading, as a black person, I think he was genuinely sorry in his apology. You could tell he was ashamed. That doesn't excuse the fact he said it at all. But from the looks of things, it's clear that his use of the N-word wasn't a dumb mistake, but rather a deliberate choice. This is because Alex seems to have no issues about using the N-word as an insult to his girlfriend. If you're already disgusted by Alex's emotional manipulation, gaslighting, and condescension, it gets even worse, because these usual insults quickly escalated into threats of physical violence, with Alex telling Alice to, quote, die in a f***ing hole and kill yourself, and even directly threatening her by saying things like, I'm going to f***ing kill you, and I'm going to break your neck. Alice also managed to record one of these horrible threats he made during a video call.
Acting like this is all just to me, and that's something you really need to fix.
I'm gonna f***ing bash your f***ing head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the f*** up.
After putting up with these threats and constant abuse for a bit over 9 months, Alice finally decided that enough was enough and broke up with Alex on the 28th of December 2023. She detailed the events leading up to this breakup in the document she shared with everyone on Twitter. According to her statements, on the day of the breakup, Alex asked if he could help with any house chores. She told him to clean the sides of the kitchen cabinets and take out the bins. But instead of doing the tasks he asked for, he started screaming at her for giving him more than one task and telling her that he couldn't handle more than one at a time. And as Alice tried to walk away to avoid any further escalation, Alex crossed a major line. He allegedly became physically violent. According to the document in Alice's Google Drive, Alex kicked her in the back, nearly making her fall to the ground. At this point, Alice was scared out of her mind and was panicking. She was afraid that Alex would hit her again, so she started recording on her phone just in case. All the while, Alex began following her around, insulting her further and trying to incite another argument. During his rambling, he also says that he's the one who pays for everything, so what Alice has to say doesn't matter one bit. After Alice left, he also began threatening to throw her remaining stuff out, including her PC setup worth over £4,000. She quickly returned to take it back, but it was too late. Her setup was on the floor in pieces, the keyboard was broken and scattered everywhere, and both her monitor screens were also smashed to bits. From what we've seen so far, there's plenty of evidence to show just how abusive Alex had been towards Alice since the very beginning of their relationship. Yet something completely surprising happened after the breakup, when simply Alex suddenly turned into a new man, or at least that's what he began saying, stating that he, quote, wants to make stuff better, and that he, quote, wants everything to be normal again. By this point, Alice wanted nothing to do with him, so she began ignoring him completely and even blocked his number, which is a clear indicator that she did not want to discuss anything with him. However, Alex kept messaging her on different social platforms, including ones she made for her cat, in hopes of gaining her attention. He even sent her a 24-minute long voice note, crying, admitting fault, and begging Alice to give him another chance.
I'd convinced myself that
friendlies capturing Zone A.
You were always looking for a way out. When in reality, you just wanted me to be normal.
Friendly's going
you
for
didn't want my
zone B.
money. You didn't want anything from me apart from me to just be what I could be all
Capture
the
zone
time.
contested.
I'm so sorry, Alan.
When that didn't work, he tried sending her a gift through Amazon with an apology message reading, "I'm deeply sorry for upsetting you and letting you down constantly. I hope one day you can forgive me and we can talk." He even tried the pre-internet technique of sending a handwritten letter to Alice, reading, "Dear Alice, I'm so sorry for not fixing my behavior before, and I understand this might be too late or too little. You are the love of my life, and I will never forgive myself for hurting you." During this time, Alice began posting things on Twitter and other social media platforms relating to domestic abuse and toxic relationships. Now, if someone suddenly starts making these kinds of posts, it's natural for people to assume they've experienced something similar. These posts can come across as a subtle cry for help, a way to share their struggles without openly announcing them to everyone. And since many of Alex's subscribers knew about his relationship with Alice, they'd likely start asking questions. To avoid such a situation, Alex tried to talk Alice into keeping their matters hidden by saying stuff like, "We have a right to a private life," and that, quote, "venting to your friends I understand, but this makes this whole situation harder for both of us," and takes it to an unneeded place. But when Alice refused to cooperate one bit, Alex changed his approach and adopted a more threatening tone, saying things like, "If you keep posting this stuff, it'll end up being a huge problem." This is also where he began threatening to make up a counter story that Alice mentioned near the start of this document. "Alex, I don't want to talk about you hitting me, and I found the text about the cat." Alice, "Because I didn't, and you'd be lying." Alex, "When you said you'd punched me." Alice, "I didn't punch you over a cat. Is this you saying you're gonna use that?" Alex, "No, I'm not. But right now, you're pushing against me." Before Alex could make up any stories about what, quote, actually happened, Alice decided to come forward with her story and all the evidence she'd gathered over the months. Which brings us back to June 15th, when Alice made the Twitter post that started this whole controversy. As soon as the post went live, people started voicing their support for Alice, with a tweet from Wonderstruck reading, "Just finished reading through the drive. Genuinely deplorable behavior. I sincerely do apologize for the volatile behavior that was directed towards you." With another user tweeting, "I am literally shivering after seeing all this. More love and support to you. Please take care of yourself." The YouTube community is completely on Alice's side as well, to the point that there isn't a single person on YouTube who's defending Alex's actions. It's important to note that a big reason why everyone's unanimously taking Alice's side is because the evidence she's published leaves no room for doubt. There are dozens of texts of Alex calling her all kinds of horrible names, and clips of him calling her a dog and threatening to smash her head against a wall with a brick. That's some pretty deplorable stuff. And while everyone else on the internet was bashing Alex's behavior towards his ex-girlfriend, two of his friends also came forwards with statements condemning his actions. Memulus made a post on Instagram stating, "I'm aware of the Alex situation. I would usually wait until both parties have said their side publicly before speaking out, but I think the evidence here is overwhelming. I spent this morning reading what Alice has written and going over the evidence she has provided, and no one should have to go through what she has. It's awful and disturbing and has seriously shocked me. I'm still processing what's happened. This is one of the worst situations I've ever seen in my life, and I hope Alice is okay. It took a lot of courage to speak out about this." Will and E also took a similar stance and completely sided with Alice, but also made a shocking revelation. "Firstly, I really hope Alice is doing well and commend her massively for having the courage to get that out there. As Mia mentioned, there were rumors of his behavior earlier last year. Myself and a few others hadn't had contact with him since or been his friend for even longer. With that being said, the severity of the abuse that Alice published was far worse than anything I'd heard being discussed, and what he put her through is inexcusable. In other words, people close to Alex already knew about his toxic traits, or at least had suspicions, but chose to ignore the matter until Alice came forward with her complete story. Well, not everyone. According to Will and E's ex, Mia Exmon, she and Alex were signed to the same YouTube talent agency up until last year. For those of you who don't know, a YouTube talent agency is a company who helps them find sponsors in their videos. But when she became aware of the abuse back in June of 2023, she forwarded the information to the agency and pressured them into dropping Alex, which they did. And while most see this as a good thing, some are calling Mia's moral compass into question, with a tweet reading, "Isn't she just as bad as everyone everyone else who knew by staying silent. I feel like we can't criticize everyone else and give her praise because she also knew about it and didn't say anything publicly. But as someone else points out, it's the victim's story. What if Alice wasn't ready to share it? Ultimately, it is a very complex situation with no clear answer. Though, in light of Alice's bravery, a couple other victims of Alex have also come forward, detailing their horrible experiences with him. The first of these is his ex-girlfriend, Jess Carter, who replied to Alice's tweet talking about how she had to endure similar treatment from Alex. She also posted a screenshot of texts one of her friends received from Alex back in 2019, which includes messages like, "I'm going to kick her head in, might kill her, might actually kill her," when talking about Jess. So from the looks of things, the threats of physical violence towards his romantic partner aren't exactly a new thing, and have been part of Alex's personality for a long time. And just like with Alice, people were quick to come forward to support Jess. At the same time, a YouTuber by the name of King Annie also came forward about her horrible experience with Alex. But instead of receiving support like Alice and Jess, she's getting immense backlash for something she did alongside Alex about 4 years ago. For context, in mid-2019, the YouTuber Slazzo's ex-girlfriend, Shay, published a tweet longer accompanied by screenshots in which she accused Slazzo of being controlling, manipulative, and sexually abusive. A few weeks later, Slazzo made a video titled My Side, where he showed the screenshots, the proof, everything. It proved that he did not abuse her, he didn't force her to do anything, and he was just an immature boyfriend. In other words, the accusations against him were completely off base and inaccurate. Despite this, some people still kept saying that Slazzo was in the wrong, most notably King Annie. In the end, these false allegations completely ruined Slazzo's career and forced him to quit YouTube entirely soon after. So now that the allegations against Alex came out, King Annie came out and blamed the entire Slazzo situation on Alex as well. With a post reading, "We started to realize that when there was even the smallest amount of drama and he heard about it, he would make sure to involve himself, even if the subject had absolutely nothing to do with him. And he would just make everything so much worse." For example, the Slazzo situation. Though it was never said in the original statements by Shay, he somehow came to the conclusion that it was and everyone else got the blame for saying his words. However, people are not willing to let King Annie declare herself as a victim in the Slazzo situation. With a post from Wavy Websurf reading, "You helped spread those Slazzo allegations. Don't try to slink out of that. You heard a rumor, did zero vetting, and went with it. Take some accountability for what happened. You co-signed that false story." Some don't even want to acknowledge her as a victim of Alex's toxic tendencies, with a tweet reading, "And now they're trying to take a piece of the victim pie. Alice is the victim, not her." What should have been a straightforward story of a domestic abuse victim coming out to the world has turned into a web of drama which somehow involves multiple YouTubers and incidents from over 4 years ago. This has also made it quite difficult to predict where the situation will go from here. The biggest unknown factor in this regard, however, is Alex's response, or lack thereof. At the time of writing this video, Alex has not yet responded to Alice's allegations in any shape or form. The video of him threatening to smash his girlfriend's head is enough to sink his career on its own, not to mention the remaining videos and dozens of screenshots proving the points Alice has brought up against him. Some speculate he'll make a half-assed apology and try to play the bad mental health card, but given the severity of the situation, that'll only enrage more people. In all honesty, it'd be a miracle if he somehow managed to keep even 10% of his audience, since there's nothing he can say or do that will restore his reputation at this point, which is exactly the sort of situation Illuminati has found herself in as well. Click the video on screen to find out more.
Pop, I need a new mag!
First it smelled like gas, it smelled like feces, and then it smelled like death.
Now remember, when we open this is something that we're never going to be able to unsee. Is it a bloodbath in there?
On May 22nd, 2019, police in Sturgis, Michigan listened to an anonymous 911 caller read them an address. Inside this home, the caller explained, they would find the missing 42-year-old Kelly Jean Warner Miller. Little did authorities know that single phone call would launch the most shocking investigation of their careers, one that required uncovering secret after haunting secret, all buried within an exceptionally twisted and sadistic mind. The following footage has never been seen before. When Kelly Jean, known as KJ, went missing in April 2019, no red flags went up. There were no frantic phone calls to 911 and no weary search parties. But it wasn't because KJ wasn't loved. The trouble was that her lifestyle was transient. She was estranged from her family and had untreated mental health struggles. This meant that sometimes long periods of absence were the norm for KJ. So when police received a 911 call sending them to an address to look for her, and officers found themselves standing on the doorstep of an ordinary-looking apartment, it was hard to believe the call was even real. After all, this wasn't the kind of thing one saw in the small town of Sturgis, Michigan. But there was only one way to find out.
She said inside on the left. Cool.
He's going for B.
Hi, Wade. How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
I remember you from the Speedway.
Yeah.
What are you up to now?
Not much.
Answering the door is 35-year-old Wade Allen.
We're looking for Kimberly.
Kelly?
Or Kelly.
Female Kelly?
Kimberly or Kelly?
From the shelter, maybe?
KJ? KJ? Yeah.
At first, Wade seems confused, and for good reason. It's close to midnight, and he's been startled awake by several armed officers knocking on his door. Wade recently came to live in this apartment after a period of homelessness, and KJ was an acquaintance from a shelter he frequented in Kalamazoo.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard from that person in some months.
Do you know her?
I haven't heard from her in a while. The last time I've seen her is couple months, and last I heard she's in Kalamazoo. I think the best way for me to help you get a hold of her is through the shelter.
The eerie atmosphere is palpable. With a call like this, officers can't simply take Wade's words as fact. They need to confirm what, if anything, is behind his front door.
Well, we just need to talk to her.
Oh, well,
do you mind if we come and look, see if make sure she's not here?
I can tell you she's not. I mean,
According to Wade, he and KJ had lost touch recently after she suddenly stopped responding to his Facebook messages.
Zone B is vulnerable.
As far as here, I don't like just... My place is a mess, and I don't like just people coming and going all the time.
We don't care. We see
This will be a fun report to write.
Apartments and homes and...
Well,
Film and TV media are at the peak of quality right now. We're innovating animation like we've never seen before. Artistic, genre-breaking pieces that redefine passionate filmmaking, while also being more accessible than ever. Like me creating video from my bedroom that you choose to watch on your TV for some reason, or on your phone folding laundry. But lately, there's been innovation in a form of storytelling largely unexplored by man. Short story, fan fiction, Wattpad live action in 9:16 vertical format, as I'm coining the term to be. You may or may not have seen ads or short trailers for these short stories on TikTok, like this one that went viral.
Say a word.
Where is she?
Hold on to me.
that's about a professor werewolf stepbrother and this girl whose mom tried to sell her for money. The stories largely make no sense and are split up into convenient minute or less snippets that you flip through like a Snapchat story, but make you pay for each slide. Another creator and friend of the channel, Chad, covered this one. It is a wild ride. I highly recommend watching it. But after I saw hers, I stumbled upon a trailer for one of these that had 27 likes, 0 comments, and 5 saves, including me. I'm in early. The algorithm hath blessed me today. And this one share, this was me sending it to Chad, forcing her to use her expertise to experience yet another one of these alpha stories. Welcome back to another episode of A Twinge of
Collaborated cringe.
I saw this trailer for this beautiful short story on TikTok.
Oh, okay, I'm a little scared.
Who are you? Never seen your face before.
I'm Rosalie. Ethan's breeder.
Breeder?
Oh, no. No, I especially don't like how she clutched her ovaries as she said that.
The concept is so gross to me. Like, this isn't like forbidden love vampire, sexy vampire. This is called The Alpha's Innocent Bride, too.
Oh, of course she's innocent. We've never heard of that being a thing.
I'm Rosalie, and I didn't know if it was the best or worst day of my life. I was finally getting away from my father and stepmother, but it was so they could sell me to the Alpha of Dragonmore.
Please come in.
Does she have a knife in her belt, or is it a really long piece of beef jerky?
It's one of the extra large Slim Jims you get from a gas station.
She's bringing a Slim Jim as protection. From my angle, it literally looks like a strip of dried meat. Is it supposed to be a stick, maybe, to like...
What kind of stick looks like that?
A meat stick?
Ethan, the girl's here.
What girl?
The breeder? You're meeting with Alpha Harlan about buying his daughter, remember?
This looks a bit raucous
The
for the
breeder?
echelon
He
playbook,
just
but I'm
called
sure
her
you'll manage.
the breeder? Did he even say her name?
I'll go.
3,
I'll take it.
2, 1. Secure those capture zones, Agent.
On the bed, now.
What?
Now.
Team capturing Zone C.
This is so gross. This is so gross. This is beyond cringe. This is like, you're romanticizing something so disgusting.
Yeah.
More lighthearted
Friendly's
thing to
going for Zone B.
nitpick is the arm lean that they have to put in all of the, where the guy leans on a door, leans over her to establish dominance. What is this floral print jacket that he's wearing?
I only can describe it as the only criteria that the wardrobe person has was British, and they just went for that. This kind of looks royal, I guess.
Kind of looks like carpet. That seems fancy.
Okay, hear me out. I kind of like it. You know, besides all the weird, illegal stuff going on here,
it could work, but I don't think it works when he's supposed to be like the alpha, whatever he is, where he's like leaning across doors and committing crimes. It just doesn't really fit.
Okay, well, it looks like we have no choice but to see where this goes.
We have to. We have no choice. We definitely couldn't choose to not do this.
We literally had no choice whatsoever. We were forced into this.
We had to.
We
We're being
had
forced. We had to do it.
I unfortunately wanted to see more of this, so I tried clicking on their profile and it just wouldn't let me. Which is a telltale sign that this is going to be quality content. Kind of like the song that I'm featuring on that's out right now. It's my friend's song, he sent it to me, I wanted to feature on it. It's a chill little jam, cute little song to fold laundry to. Check it out, link is in the description. Although the trailer for this story didn't really see numbers, the app itself, Mini Shorts, is actually quite popular. Last week, it was the 54th most popular app in the entertainment section of the App Store, but as of today, it's number 124, so I don't really know what happened there. But it was surrounded by a bunch of other apps like this in the App Store, which made me realize just how many of these low-budget alpha productions are out there, which must be super profitable and lucrative for them to be churning out like this, because you're making people pay per episode in a way that makes you feel like you're not really spending money because it keeps auto-unlocking the next episode. You'll see. But what I found hilarious looking at this in the App Store was the featured review. Like, this is the first thing you see when you're contemplating whether or not you want to download this app. I really do like these short videos. I like when the bullies get put in their place and the one that gets bullied gets rewarded by getting the attention of the one thing they want. What I don't like is the videos in Chinese. And I don't understand what they're saying because I don't speak or read Chinese. The other thing I don't like is the cliffhanger at the end of the videos.
But they're not all in Chinese, though. Some of them are in English.
Inside the app, starting our journey, there was another cut of the trailer that we had to sit through in which the king says this.
A child.
Ew, what the?
Precious cargo, Fond of freedom. No.
Emperor Palpatine just sniffed her neck and was like, you're pregnant now.
Ew, what the fuck? Whoever wrote this script needs to go to fucking jail. Although at points you'll question if this script was written by AI. Because it feels like they took every high point and twist they could possibly think of that would look cool in a trailer, and then tried to string all those points together and make a story around those points in the most nonsensical way possible. There's the love triangle, the evil estranged brother, the evil king potentially killing their parents, falling in love with a mythical creature that trapped you inside of his lair, the usual. This shit was looking like Game of Thrones in this trailer.
Okay, so this is the beginning now. Okay. Wait, is this the beginning? You and I have to get a plane ride overnight.
It's soaring.
Friendly securing A.
I fully thought that said guy.
I thought it said Alpha Ethan Gay for a second.
That works too. Maybe he's all of the above.
How long does he expect us to wait for him?
My time to shine.
As long as he wants. We're here as guests.
Compromise.
I'm Rosalind, and I didn't know if it was the best or worst day of my life. I was finally getting away from my father and
And I have a Slim Jim in my pocket.
To the Alpha of Dragomir.
Hostiles are winning, agent.
How badly I needed to be.
What? What?
That was such a crazy tone shift. Was that supposed to be a joke?
Like, we got that same scene in like both the trailers we watched, and now we're actually revealed to what
she was leading up to with that dialogue.
That was a little crazy. That's like when someone starts explaining like finance to me. They're like, all I could think about, I really have to fucking pee right now. Ooh, and speaking of finance talk, I just can't stop thinking about Rocket Money. The personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, set budgets, and see all of your spending in an intuitive place. If you see a subscription you want to cancel, Rocket Money can cancel it for you in the app, so you don't even have to worry about waiting through terrible customer service menus to cancel something on the phone. It's also been really helpful in monitoring my water, electric, internet bills, and other bills you have, because it'll tell you if the bill has been lower or higher than last month. And you can see the history of your utility bills in one place, which saves a lot of time and way easier to look at. To save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members on Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/GabbyBell or click the link in the description below to get started for free. You can also unlock even more features with Premium. That's rocketmoney.com/GabbyBell to get started for free. Thank you so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video and being an alpha, because we're gonna get back to the alpha and his innocent bride.
The mission failure report. Get a head start on the bookkeeping.
Please come in.
I would love to start greeting guests like that. Like you open the door and somebody walks out with a corpse over their shoulders, and then you go, "Please come in." Like nothing just happened.
So the girl goes into the house by herself, and we never see her parents again, which is such a shame because I feel like the actress for the stepmom does such a good job in this role. Like she is acting her ass off. Okay, she's doing a good job. So the first episode finally ends, and the app finally prompts us to pay to keep watching.
And we already have to spend money. We already have to spend money. All right,
Thank God.
The cheapest one is $10.
And guys, I've never seen an app want my money less than this one. Chad tried multiple times to purchase coins and it would tell her it went through and then the purchase would fail in the app. So hopefully she doesn't get charged multiple times for that.
It was successful. It said it was successful 2 times, and then in the app it says failed.
Plus, throughout all this, the show kept playing in the background so I could hear the next episode, but not see it, which made the purchasing process even more stressful.
I just bought 2.
You can use the app for free by checking in every day to get free vouchers. And you can get free vouchers by watching ads, but you can only watch 5 ads a day.
Okay, they also limit it so you can only watch 5 ads a day, which means that even if you opt to watch ads instead of paying for it, you still can't watch, like, there's still a limit on how much you can actually watch.
Especially because each episode costs upward of 66 coins or 66 vouchers. I ended up having to log in with my TikTok account, purchasing the $20 pack, giving my TikTok login to Chad, so now we share a TikTok account. But by the time we were done with that, unfortunately, she was gone. I was gonna say I could buy it on mine and then have you log. Okay, it's
Unlock.
working.
Balance 2,000. It didn't even ask. Okay.
I'm sure he's just up in his office. Please, wait here while I fetch him.
What do we think he does in his office? I bet it's something important.
Probably playing fetch, actually.
Ew.
What was that angle? Were we looking at him from the toilet? Were we POV, you're a toilet and he's pissing inside of your mouth? Like, what was that angle?
Whoa, what are you doing? It's occupied.
I'm sorry. The door was unlocked.
The door was closed. You didn't even knock.
Can you please hurry? I really need to go.
Is this supposed to be like sexy?
There's a lot of piss sounds and I'm not comfortable.
It's like right off the bat, like we're not even easing into it. There's just piss out the gate.
No.
Episode 1 ended with piss.
Just piss. Just a whole lot of piss.
How badly I needed to pee.
It's occupied.
Ethan, the girl's here.
What girl?
The breeder? You're meeting with Alpha Harlan about buying his daughter, remember?
I'm so sorry, Alpha Ethan. I'll go.
Girl,
Domination.
no. Screw him.
I'll take 3 objectives
I'll
on
take
your
them.
OPSAT. Assault them at your discretion.
I'll take her as my breeder.
I have a piss kink.
This is the man my
3,
father would sell me to.
2, 1.
Alpha Ethan.
Your mission is to secure the capture zones.
Ew.
Friendlies capturing Zone A.
Could I have my flute back?
It's a flute.
Capture zone secured.
It's not beef jerky or a
That's
knife.
a
it's a
flute?
flute. She's actually the Pied Piper.
She is. I like the nice touch that they started playing flute music in the background too.
That's her. She's so good she doesn't even have to hold a flute to play it.
I wish this was a musical. She just starts singing right
I
now.
do too.
She broke it.
She broke it.
Alpha Ethan! I want my freedom.
Hostiles
Why
on
should
the
I
scope
give
in
you
Zone B.
You want a healthy baby, don't you? Then you'll give me what I want.
What? Don't worry, this never comes back. Much like her stepmother and father, who is
allow
also an alpha for some reason.
You're meeting with Alpha Harlan about buying his daughter, remember?
Because this never matters.
Welcome to the Luna Suite.
Friendlies going for Zone B.
She's still holding the recorder pieces.
It was Ethan's mother.
Capture zone
You should have seen
contested.
it then.
laughter and the love.
Only this room.
Only the rest of the house
This
was
room,
disaster.
This room used to be full of laughter and love. The rest of the house was awful. Let me tell you,
Haunted.
it was really bad.
Slime oozing out of the walls.
Yeah.
A lot of pissing too. You should have seen it.
So much piss. And that part hasn't changed, but there used to be way more piss around here.
That was a long time ago.
She's like, can you shut the fuck up and get out of my room?
Didn't say a single fucking word.
Why is she happy?
Why is she happy?
Bro, what?
What
Why
is
is she
happening?
spinning and she's literally
What is
kicking her
going
feet and giggling?
What are these characters? What?
Bro, you're a prisoner.
No, send her back.
When I was little, my mother used to play this song for me.
She's pretending to play the recorder without having a recorder. That's a harmonica.
Yeah, first of all, that's the wrong instrument.
Watch his legs.
Whoa!
Why is he... What?
A plate
Friendly's
roast,
going for
dude.
Zone B.
No, what? Wait, what? She's not... They're saying that they can hear her?
It's storming. That's two more dead.
Okay, the person that they're carrying away was talking.
He's alive.
It's two more dead.
So Soren, the evil twin brother, has been killing off henchmen again. And at this point, we get the message that the king wants Alpha Ethan to produce an heir to the throne as soon as possible. No, Alpha Ethan is not the king's son, but he does want him to date his daughter Madeline, while also using the breeder Rosalie. But just forget about that for now because we get to this awful scene that we saw in the trailer.
On the bell.
Zone compromised.
Ugh.
Now.
What the hell?
Be whipping from my seat. So I need to take this and
Ew! Ew!
Holy sh! That was the entire episode.
That was like 20 seconds.
Yeah, there's 46 episodes in this one, but each episode is criminally short. There are entire episodes where one single mundane thing happens the whole time. Like this one, where Ethan is playing chess by himself the entire episode. One single scene will last for 3 episodes in this one. They drag this shit out more than One Piece. So you would think something's about to happen here, but it doesn't, and he just inexplicably leaves.
What's the matter? Did you rip your dick off?
That line came out of nowhere.
Why would he say that? Why would he guess that? Why is that the first thing out of his mouth?
She's a virgin.
How did he know that?
How did he figure that out?
He can smell it. You can just smell if someone's a virgin, kind of like at a gaming convention.
Oh.
He's an alpha werewolf, right? Are they supposed to be werewolves?
I think they are.
Does it matter?
I mean, no. But someone should have said something. It's important information.
You know what else is important? Consent.
I thought you were gonna do a sponsor segue.
Excuse me.
What?
This entire interaction makes no sense because he saw her scars, leaves without saying anything, and then somehow concludes she's a virgin from that. But I don't even know why I try explaining anything because this never matters and doesn't come back as a plot point. Not the scars, not the other points either, none of it. It doesn't matter. Why do I even try? This is somehow more nonsensical than MGK's movie. Anyway, she gets her flute meat stick back.
He can't. All of these used matches where he's failed to light one fucking candle. She's gonna do it first try.
Yep. Here you go, you fucking moron.
She just made him blow it out.
I think she is the alpha in this situation.
I think she's kind of doming him right now a little bit.
There's something sweet about him.
He's just so stupid.
He's just so dumb. Not a thought behind those eyes.
My golden retriever alpha. The slow-mo drop.
The way he keeps freaking out and is acting makes me think that he's the virgin.
Right, like he doesn't seem like an alpha. He like stumbles a lot, can't light a match, breaks a plate and does a little shuffle. How long has he had that in there?
The same music again.
Yeah, it's Debussy, or whatever Edward Cullen says.
It's Debussy.
He says it's Debussy.
Wait, so what happened? She took off her clothes and then went to bed?
She got into bed. I think he's supposed to get in with her.
Yeah, but she like looked like she was like ZZZ, like she looked zonked. So we meet Madeline, the king's daughter, who is very special to Ethan somehow.
This is Madeline, the king's daughter. She is very important to me.
And we're meant to think that she's not gonna like Rosalie. There's gonna be a rivalry.
He got a breeder.
What? But this never materializes and she's actually super nice and chill. Even after being upset at this news one time. And then she kind of forgets about it. Honestly, she's so healthy for that. But what's great about this scene is that it feels like they just forgot what they were writing about halfway through the scene. Because she initially thinks that Rosalie is the maid.
Hi.
So she's like, oh, sorry, I didn't know you weren't done cleaning in here. And then she lays down on the bed with shoes on, puts on a sleep mask to take a nap, and then not 1 second later sits back up, takes off the mask, and says,
"Who are you?"
Does she have amnesia? What's going on? Shh. What the fuck?
I don't understand what's happening anymore.
Me neither.
What?
Why are we here now?
What are they doing?
What are they doing? Literally, the next episode opens with inexplicable manhandling. The king shows up with Ethan's sister and already knows about the breeder, so I guess no one just told Madeline. At this point, we are so fucking lost. This is Jacob from Twilight, wondering why the king wants Ethan to produce an heir with the breeder while dating his daughter. But then he offers his daughter to produce an heir.
I want you to marry Madeline. Produce an heir with her instead. But what about
And then threatens to take Rosalie away with him when he leaves after this scene.
We're against him.
I have the spitting image of her. Ethan's mother.
Ethan's mother?
Ew. Why would you want to date someone that looks exactly like your mom?
Why would you say that?
Oh, we're carrying a precious cargo in there, aren't we?
She's pregnant?
Yeah, is she pregnant yet? Or is the precious cargo like the ovaries? I wish I could exit interactions like that.
He just scrolled out. Can you please add creaking sound effects
to this?
To him just getting rolled back.
They keep alluding to Soren, the evil twin brother, coming to attack, and he finally shows up. He's here, and they introduce him with this really awesome and flattering freeze frame.
That's a great freeze frame, guys. Good job.
And remember how they're supposed to be werewolves? They never transform or act like werewolves at all. The closest thing we get is Soren's eye turning a little red and him going, I'm a wolf. Okay, buddy, keep pretending. Okay, so remember that weird precious cargo comment? Rosalie takes a pregnancy test, to which her reaction makes us even more confused to whether or not the results are positive or negative, because we, the audience, cannot see the results.
What?
Dude, when did they fuck?
Moon goddess, what should I do now?
Moon goddess?
Dude, they didn't even kiss.
Didn't even kiss. She just took off her clothes and went to sleep. And their parents died when we were young, so who is the adult man?
I guess it's like his Alfred.
The breeder failed to produce an offspring.
Wait, what?
Huh? How long has it been?
She's pregnant.
I wouldn't say she failed, Your Highness.
Oh, okay. So she was looking at the pregnancy test.